Well, hello there, my fellow Doombots, and today, your favorite Goofy Goober, Doombot 15, is going to be trying to answering the age-old question, what's the best trilogy? Some people would say The Dark Knight. In my opinion, not really. The Dark Knight is fine, but it's more like a dude in a bad costume running through Chicago than really a Batman movie, so not that one. You got the Star Wars movie. Once again, classic. I got a little bit of nostalgia for those movies, but I don't think that they're really the best trilogy. You of course got the Lord of the Rings movies. Of course, great for Christmas time. I mean, Doomas time. They're fine. I like them. They're good, but just in my opinion, it's just not the best. Of course, you got all of these MCU movie trilogies, from Captain America to the Iron Man, or should I say, Doom Man Origins. I still don't know what's going on with the Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom casting, but I'm really hoping to the Liberian gods that it's good. We also got the movies of Guardians of the Galactic Toons, which is of course a great trilogy, and of course you got Spider Iron Man Boy Jr., which is a fine trilogy, but it's still not the best. Some people might argue that the Godfather trilogy is the best. Well, I've never seen it, so I have no idea. In my opinion, there can only be one trilogy to rule over them all. A movie where it's so badass, you got monkeys riding on freaking horseback while shooting off AK-47s or whatever Gon Kobai is holding in his hand in this cool picture right here. And that movie trilogy, the best of all time, has to be the rebooted Planet of the Apes trilogy. And this freaking is, in my opinion, the best freaking trilogy of all time, hands down. I just rewatched these movies, I binged all of them, and there's nothing without any debate. This has to be the best freaking character arc, the best freaking trilogy of all time. And you might be well, actually, Quentin Tarantino said the Toy Story trilogy is actually the best trilogy of all time. Well, he's wrong. Apes together strong. So get yourself your limited edition Planet of the Apes Caesar Deluxe DVD box, because today we're going to be talking about spoilers, full spoilers for the new Planet of the Apes rebooted series. I don't know how old these movies are. I didn't look up when they came out, but I just remember being a little teenage Doombot watching these in the theater and with my daddy. Oh, Daddy, I miss you so. I wish we could go back to the time we went to the movie theater together. What happened, man? Please return my text. But yeah, damn. I gotta start off with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, because this is the movie that I just remembered the most fondly. This was the movie I was like, damn, this is the freaking shit. And yeah, I rewatched this one because I knew it was awesome, and I just saw it was on HBO, and I was like, yeah, let's freaking watch this shit. So I watched it, and this movie has swagger. It has the swagger of a very depressed dude who also directed the masterpiece that is the new Batman movie, which in my opinion is the better Batman movie than all of the Christopher Nolan movies combined. I know, maybe it's controversial. I do really like Heath Ledger's Joker performance, but if I think about Batman, I think about a gothic Gotham setting, and this is my Batman. The Batman by Matt Reeves is just the best Batman, hands down. But that's another tangent, and we can fight over that in the comments or not, or we can just agree to disagree. But Matt Reeves has just the style. He has the freaking sauce. Bowels, baby! And yeah, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes takes place a couple of years after Rise, but I totally forgot what Rise was about when I watched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And it's basically about Caesar, who is the leader of a bunch of apes in a forest, and they're just hunter-gathering, and they're just living their old, timey, relaxed lifestyle. And yeah, it's just all good. But then these goofy goober humans show up, and they're like, we need power. Because Caesar is such a good dude and he has fond memories in his childhood of James Franco, of all people, being nice to him, except for James Franco wasn't really nice to him. If you think about Rise of the Planet of the Apes, it's quite obvious that James Franco was using him, just like he used all of those actresses. I don't know, I'm just saying stuff that the media said to me, but as far as I know, James Franco is kind of a scummy dude, but I don't want to get too much into that because, yeah, he's also part of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie, so I don't want to taint those too much, and also want to taint this franchise with James Franco. But there's a big conflict because the humans, they need the power from the dam, which is located in the forest where the apes live. I shouldn't say monkeys, where the apes live. And Gary Oldman is the last part of the human resistance because they really need this power. And this is where the conflict comes in, because when the humans go to the forest, they actually kill one of the apes. And even though that happens, Caesar is convinced by one of the humans, played by this dude, who I only know from this freaking movie, so I'm just gonna call him this dude, who did a great job. I'm very interested. What is this dude after this? What did he do after this? I don't even know. But this is the conflict. Like, Caesar wants to at least help the humans so that he trusts the humans not to do anything after that. But you got this other ape, which is called the Sauce Boss 2.0, freaking Koba, the most badass antagonist of all time. This dude is a freaking unit of a dude who really disagrees with Caesar and is mistrusting the humans because, of course, he got experimented on in, I forgot all about this, but he got experimented on in that first movie. And so Koba is like, yeah, Caesar, like humans more than ape. And this leads to Koba making it look like that Caesar got killed by the humans by shooting Caesar with a gun. And then he does this full attack on the human base, and this is such a badass freaking scene. Like, Matt Reeves knows how to direct an awesome looking action scene, because Koba riding in on that horse with those two freaking guns, like, man, it made me jump on my freaking couch, man. This shit was so badass. Just Koba leading all of these apes to attack all of the humans, which at the end of this trilogy will end to the downfall of Caesar, but we'll get to that later. To find out that Caesar survived the shot by Koba, and you get this awesome fight scene. Like, this movie is just so freaking good. Maybe you're not putting it into words correctly, but this movie was freaking awesome, and this ending fight scene was so dope. And of course, at the end, Caesar wins, but the damage has already been done because Gary Oldman's character has called in the army. And then we get into War of the Planet of the Apes, which sees Caesar, home base now, being attacked by an army led by Woody Harrelson's character, which I'm just gonna call the Sergeant. And this has to be one of the darkest movies in this franchise, because it sees the Sergeant literally taking everything away from Caesar real quick. Just the performance by Andy Serkis in this film is, it is so freaking good. I think he only has like less than 30 lines in the entire series, but you feel his presence every time. He's just farming. He's so, or whatever, man. He's just so captivating to watch. I just love the performance. No! Apes together strong. Oh man, it's just so quotable. Oh man, it was so good. Well, at the end of the day, this movie gets really dark. You even get like ape concentration camps and a bunch of slave labor, and the Sergeant is totally going crazy. He even killed his own son because there's this virus spreading. The virus was already there, but it's mutating, and now it's making people's cognitive function degrade while the apes become smarter and smarter, and humans just cannot even talk at the end of the movie. Also, the ending of this is so brutal, where the Sergeant also gets infected with the virus and even takes his own life. It was just so brutal. And also the fact that when the Sergeant kills Caesar's wife and his son, which is a freaking such a intense scene. You see the switch in Caesar, where Caesar just goes out on the solo mission to hunt down the Sergeant, which leads to the capture of all the other apes. But we get this beautiful moment at the end of this series where Caesar finally gets his flock to the promised land, to this beautiful place. It looks like a utopia with beautiful nature, water, everything you need to survive. And the last thing that Caesar sees is all of his apes finally finding rest, finding peace. And that's where he succumbs to his wounds that he got by one of the sergeants shooting him with a bow and arrow. It was just like, whoa, what a freaking gut punch. And after I watched War of the Planet of the Apes, I watched Rise, because I was like, god damn, I don't know anything about Caesar. I had no idea. I forgot totally all about it. Even though I watched this movie in the freaking theaters, I forgot what his origin was. And watching it, I do have to give some props to, I think this dude is called Wyatt Russell. If his name is wrong, I'm going to put it here.
Rupert Wyatt.
But this dude did a great job, because I maybe you think that this might be my favorite one. I might even prefer this a little bit over Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, because Rise, let me tell you, it literally put the foundation there for everything I love of those Planet of the Apes movies, at least this new reboot. I didn't even know that Koba was in this movie. What? He's in the second half of the film, and yeah, he's freaking brutal. Koba even murks the dude that is responsible for experimenting on him. I had no idea. But the fact that this trilogy shows you Caesar as a little baby, even you meet his mother, you don't even know that it is his mother. I had no idea about any of this stuff, because the mother of Caesar was experimented on in a lab. And then she got all aggressive when they tried to capture her, but it turns out that she actually had a baby. The baby Caesar had the experimentation, the experimental drug in his system, which makes him smarter than most humans. Has a IQ of 200, and then he gets raised by James Franco of all people. Let's not get too deep into that, but yeah, in this film, James Franco does a great job. I think he is very good across from Andy Serkis as Caesar, and I love to see this coming of age story, but then it's with a freaking ape. The reason why they are experimenting on these apes and what the drug is for is to cure Alzheimer's, because the father of James Franco's character has Alzheimer's, and they're trying to improve his cognitive function with this drug. So that's why they are developing it, and it even improves cognitive abilities, but for some reason it destroys human cells, and because of the metabolism of an ape, it enhances it there. So basically why all of humanity will get destroyed is because of greed, and just to get more and more, and just stupidity for the obvious shortcomings of what they are doing. I also love this part of Caesar being introduced into what first looks like a beautiful place because of all the paintings and stuff. He's the lowest on the totem pole because he's wearing this shirt. He's a weird dude. He's walking around with his little pants. But you really see how Caesar turns into a leader, and all of these moments here where he finally stands up to freaking Draco Malfoy and stuff, it was just so well done. And you do understand where Caesar is coming from, because he sees all of these apes are treated, and eventually he takes some of that formula from James Franco's character, and he turns all of these apes into his freaking army. He really turns into a leader in this movie. This is the best origin story film I've ever seen. And whoa, just what Andy Serkis has done with this character, it is just amazing. I think this is his best performance. And I just love a trilogy of movies that is a contained story where you just see his origin, literally from him being born to becoming the leader. Then in Dawn, him facing the challenges that being a leader gives you, and then in the last movie, everything he worked for being taken away from him, and just his pain consuming him, and basically turning into the monster that he vowed not to be. It's just gorgeous. I did watch this Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie. I watched it. I did enjoy it, but didn't enjoy it as much as the other Planet of the Apes movies. Because let me tell you, one of the best things about these movies is that they're tight, man. These movies are freaking tight. They're all, I think the longest one is like 2 hours. And these movies, they look great. They have great animation. The CGI is great. And you just care for all of these monkeys. Like, shout out to Maurice. Maurice was a freaking G. And shout out to Rocket. Koba, one of the most crazy antagonists of all time. Like, I love these movies. I don't know what to say to you. I just had to make this freaking yap session. I should be talking about freaking Predator, but instead I'm talking about Planet of the Apes. But yeah, Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, it was fine. I like Proxima Caesar. What a day! What a wonderful day! You know, it was pretty freaking sick, but there wasn't anything in here as badass as Koba riding a horse while exploding everything around him. Like, this scene was also so beautiful and so awesome, but at the same time, it was hard to watch because you saw a lot of humans dying and a lot of apes dying, and you know, when you see war, nobody really wins. You know, at the end of the day, there's casualties on both sides. I've heard somewhere that in 2027 we're getting a new Planet of the Apes movie. Yeah, I will be watching it. I just hope it's not freaking too long. The movie should be like between 90 minutes and 2 hours. That should be it. Okay. Okay. Well, that's my yap session. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what's your favorite Planet of the Apes movie. And I think my next video is a podcast where I'm going to be talking about the new Predator movie. Doombot out. Have yourself a happy doomsday. Damn. Oh, damn. I think I got that freaking flu, man. That flu that they get at that Planet of the Apes movie, man. Okay. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing, man? You should doomscribe. Doomscribe!